Dear audience, welcome everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Aplachikov Alexander. I'm an engineering manager at EPAM. And yeah, if you hear me well, please post something in the chat, uh, add your reactions, likes, dislikes. If you will hear the drill on the background, don't pay attention too much, because it is my neighbor is following me everywhere at office and at my home. So first of all, thank you for making the time today and join the live session. If you watch it on YouTube in recording in double speed, double thank you. So today we have an important topic about recent updates from Google I/O and some news. I'm joined by Denis Kalanets. Let me introduce and invite Denis. He's lead software engineer from EPAM. Denis, how are you doing?
Hi, Sasha. Doing well. And you?
I'm okay. How many videos and from Google I/O you have watched?
I watched about 10 videos, the most interesting to myself, and for the rest, I used AI to summarize captions. So in
Oh,
general, I have full coverage.
yeah, it's interesting. Cheat, to collect and summarize all information with help of AI. It's interesting. Did you use Gemini or ChatGPT or what? What tool did you
Uh,
use?
for summaries, I used ChatGPT, but I tried Gemini a bit.
Okay, sounds good. It's approved by Google. Okay, before we move on with presentation, let me mention that this is live chat on. We have a live chat on YouTube. Please join us and ask any questions, something interesting, share any information as we come along. After Denise after completing the presentation, we'll try to answer some questions or readdress it somewhere. Uh, okay, let me begin the presentation and pass the word to Denis. Denis, the stage is yours, please.
Thank you, Sasha. So today we're going to discuss some updates from Google I/O. And from the very beginning, let me introduce myself again. So my name is Denis. I have about 12 years of experience in Android development, and almost 7 years I'm working for EPAM. 7 years will be in July, but I guess that is fine. And one more thing, that's my first public technical talk, so don't judge me too much, and let's go. So uh, Google I/O. Google I/O happened 2 weeks ago, where, as usual, Google representatives shared some news, some updates, technical and not only technical, with us. And what Google I/O actually is. So I decided to ask Google Gemini what it is, and from its opinion, Google I/O is a developer's paradise. And according to its words, Google I/O is annual developer conference, which happens each year. It's 3 days long, packed keynotes, technical sessions, workshops, networking, and covers all Google areas like Android, Chrome, Cloud, and different things. But actually, not only technical things happen on Google I/O as this year. So this year, Google I/O started from performance. I hope you watched this video with this cool DJ guy appeared from a huge coffee cup. If no, you can watch it on YouTube. It's called like Google I/O pre-session, pre-party, something like this. And why it is here? So this performance happened with, as I said, DJ, and the main thing in this performance was that he used Google provided software which creates music using artificial intelligence. So AI is everywhere, and even in music, videos, and in development tools as well. Well, let's move on. So, as I told us about AI, so AI becomes major part of our lives, and I decided to start from it. Also, I thought that it's so popular that one AI word is not enough. I added two more, but I still thinking that it's not enough. So, yeah, now I guess it's a bit better. No perfection yet, but I guess it's all. And let's go to AI updates shared on Google I/O. First of all, what can be interested for us as Android or mobile developers, Google presented Gemini Nano Pro API for models. And what is the difference? So Pro model is accessible via the internet. You can use it as a common API to share different, to solve different problems. And Gemini Nano, sorry, Gemini Nano, I would say, is more interesting thing for mobile developers because it doesn't require internet connection. The model is stored locally on device, and user data doesn't aren't sent to the internet, aren't shared with someone else. Moving on, what can also be interested for us as developers, it's Gemini Assistant in Android Studio and Gemini in Firebase. And you may ask me, what is the picture with phone, with girl, how it related to the slide? I can say that I tried my prompt engineering skills with Google Gemini, Gemma model, if I'm not mistaken, which generates images, and it generated me a set of pictures. So what I asked it to generate for is please create me a screenshot of Android Studio with Gemini Assistant, and I had 5 girl photos and at least only one with mobile phone. So I decided to share it with you. And by the way, to increase your prompt engineering skills, you still can pass prompt engineering course if you haven't did it already. Well, to continue our discussion, so yeah, that's finally screenshot from Google's presentation about Gemini Assistant is Android Studio. It's and what Gemini Assistant can provide to us. First of all, as you can see in the screenshot, it's chat. As you can see in common AI assistant, it's chat. You can send some prompts to the chat, and it answers to you. Google Gemini in Android Studio can share can send to you answers with problem solving, with code examples, and it is useful enough. But here is one important thing. To have very useful hints and code samples from your project, you must allow using project data, project context by Gemini. That means uploading it somewhere to its servers. And only with this checkbox, Gemini becomes fully useful for you. If don't, you just can use it as Gemini Assistant in its web page, I would say. But not only chat is useful for us. If you enable full access to the project by Gemini, you can use such interesting features as autocomplete and refactoring. So in the code editor, you can, while you type in code, Gemini suggests you fully makes great suggestions. Like in general, they match your expectations, at least mine, while I've been writing the code. Also, there is one of refactoring points that one of examples of refactoring. Google Gemini can generate useful names for variables, not only if you write code using A, B, C, D, and whatever. It can analyze the code and, according to its context, generate useful variables name. What I can say here, so if you tried at least once reverse engineering of Android application, which is obfuscated, and actually there are class and variables name like ABCD, so I think it's step forward for reverse engineers who can try to read and understand code that was already published. What else? The most interesting feature, I would say, of Gemini shared on Google I/O was code generation based on screenshots. So one of Google representatives provided screenshots from Figma to Google Gemini, provided project sources, and AI generated Jetpack Compose code using components already defined in the code. And I think that's really great and can be really useful for developers. We'll see how it works on our projects, but I believe it's great. And one more thing provided by Google is Gemini in Firebase. I guess every one of you already used Firebase service. And what Gemini can do there? It can analyze all crashes, group them by crash reason, and the most interesting thing here that Google Gemini can provide solutions with code snippets. So it can help us to be faster solve our crash issues, and yeah. Let's move on. Let's talk about Android and updates shared about Android system. First of all, I'd like to pay your attention to UI changes which Google provided. If I'm not mistaken, actually there were the first changes provided for Android system. And let's go by UI updates by one. First of all, edge-to-edge design was introduced by default, so please expect it design in your application. Also, there are status and navigation bar updates. They are not present on the screen, but what you need to know is that by default, status bar and navigation bars are transparent, and only three buttons navigation bar has opacity. And predictive back action is enabled by default in Android 15, so you don't need to tick any option. But still, you need to provide predictive back support in your application. If you don't do it, nothing happens, actually. Also, there were introduced some security topic updates. The first was called Safer Intents in the presentation. So you might know that some intent changes were introduced by Google, so you cannot send intent with empty action, or you cannot, or changes were introduced to starting application from background. And Google announced also strict mode for this intents to make developers life easier while adapting application to this intent changes. And also Play Integrity API was introduced in beta. It can, for now, it allows you to check if some other application capturing or changing behavior of your application. Yeah, Google wasn't Google if it didn't introduce any change for background work. And one example of foreground services background work changes is for media coding background work. There is a limitation of 6 hours maximum. If your application exceeds this time, that on the timeout callback called, and if you do nothing, then your service work will be stopped with an error. And yeah, Android 15 Beta 2 was released, so you are able to check all those changes using beta. Yeah, let's go on. Jetpack Compose updates. What I would like to say here, first of all, Jetpack Compose now is not only the modern framework, I would say in 2024, it's a mandatory framework for Android and mobile development in general. And let's discuss changes introduced to Jetpack Compose internally. First of all, built-in Compose compiler in Kotlin compiler was announced to be introduced in Kotlin 2.0. And I think most of you had such problem when you use Compose compiler and Kotlin compiler, and they requires version to match each other, and you cannot use version which don't match. And currently, this problem will be solved by adding Jetpack Compose compiler into Kotlin, so you won't have such problem. Moving next, so Google worked on performance in Jetpack Compose. The first thing about performance, it's called strong skipping mode. It means that some composables without marking stable annotation also can be skipped, and according to Google, this will increase performance of recompositions up to 20%. And also were introduced another performance improvements, which according to Google, can improve Jetpack Compose productivity up to 17%. In general, so if you remember how Jetpack Compose worked in the very beginning, now it must work much better and much faster. Also, changes which can relate to UI components in Jetpack Compose, as predictive back button was introduced in Android 15. Then in Compose, shared elements transition also now support predictive back button. And one more change in Jetpack Compose that text fields now can support rich contents and links, HTML, and this stuff. Let's move on. Let's talk about changes in Jetpack itself and what new appeared in Jetpack. First of all, yeah, Kotlin multi-platform support was announced, so that some Jetpack libraries like Room now supports Kotlin multi-platform, so you can use them not only for Android development now. And Google announced that another libraries a few more libraries now support Kotlin multi-platform, and they will move into this direction. Also, on Google I/O, Material 3 adaptive libraries were announced, and it's quite interesting thing. You might remember period of time when Google announced tablets, and so we had phones in the very beginning. Afterwards, we had tablets, and there were some design guidelines how to support both phone and tablet design. And a few years ago, foldable devices were introduced. And Material 3 adaptive libraries allow you to adapt your content according to display size, so phone, tablet, or foldable device. And there are three elements, three scaffolds introduced in Material 3 libraries. It's navigation scaffold and list screen and support screen. So you can use those scaffolds to build your UI and to match different screens guidelines from the box. Also was introduced Jetpack Glance library, which allows you writing desktop widgets using Jetpack Compose syntax. So must be pretty pleasant to write it now. What else? Camera updates were introduced. So first of all, it's Camera X Beta, which supports such things as Ultra HDR and low light beam, which was introduced in Android 15, and also Camera Viewfinder for Compose was introduced in 1.0 alpha. And yeah, if you are Android TV developer, you are lucky now. For you, Compose, Jetpack Compose for TV beta was introduced. And let's talk about Kotlin as our main programming language now. I can highlight two things here. So first of all, Kotlin 2.0 release was announced last week by Kotlin. On Kotlin Conf, and that is great because Kotlin will allow us to build our application faster. And one more important thing is, as I said, Google officially supports Kotlin multi-platform now. It wants to go into this direction. As an example, Google Docs applications now is written in Kotlin multi-platform, and web mobile applications code base is shared, and Google likes this solution. So Google decided to develop itself into multi-platform way. And that were major updates about Kotlin. What I can tell here more. So on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, Sasha can be correct later. Our open discussion is scheduled about Kotlin multi-platform. Please join it if you're interested. And I would say it's everything from my side. Thank you for your attention. Questions.
Okay. Thank you, Denis, for extracting, summarizing, and sharing such interesting updates. We have really important news, especially for me. It's Kotlin support. I really bet on this technology. I also wanted to note that the the DJ who made the performance from the beginning, from opening the event, his name is Mark Rebelit. He's soon visiting Gdańsk in Poland. Yeah, we are from Poland actually. Yeah, you can join his performance. I am a great fan of his video about. You can Google it. You late your work. It this name of the video. So, yeah, let me check if we have questions from our chat. Please, guys who join this session, don't hesitate to ask anything if you're interested in some topics. I personally have questions from my side to Denis. Denis, what's your favorite update from Google I/O?
Interesting topic. I would say it's update about Android Studio new functionalities related to AI. And what I can tell here, so if you're interested in such changes for ask for all audience. If you're interested in such changes, please look the full video about Android development tools updates published on Google I/O. It is, I would say, the best video from the session.
Yeah, actually, a lot of videos you can find on from Google I/O. But what do you think? Is it really serious update? I mean that you can use in your future life. Because why I'm asking it, because JetBrains also is developing some at adds AI tools in their studio and their ADs. Google adds something. Google adds something inside Android. What's the most maybe desirable to use in your day-to-day routine development routine in the future from AI?
What if we talk about Android development? So we have Gemini for Android Studio was announced by Google, and as you said, Kotlin developers JetBrains trains their own model. But as I can say, as I understand, JetBrains model is focused only on Kotlin. And it increases developers' productivity while writing only Kotlin code. As Gemini can be focused on not only in Kotlin, but in Android things like compose and libraries and this stuff. So not only Kotlin.
What do you think? Will AI replace us as Android developers?
What I can say here, so I don't think it replace us in nearest future, but it can make boost for huge boost for starting developers like juniors or early middles, let's say, because I tried Gemini in my pet project, and it really fastens at least code writing. If not develop, I cannot say how it makes a whole development faster, but writing code definitely makes.
Yeah, I feel the same. But let me also answer on the question, like answered Linus Torvalds when people asked him about will AI replace him. He said, "Oh, finally." Yeah, it would be good, let's say, not to spend a lot of time on too much on coding, on finding some strange bugs. I rely on the tools that will help you to be fast, develop fast application, use better your imagination than just typing skills. So yeah, let me check again our chat. So we have questions. I seem that it seems that on that note, I can. Um, I want to say thank you for people who joined us. Thank you, all audience, very much. Thank you, people who watching us this recording, and thank you, of course, Denis, for sharing such interesting information to the audience. I want to see you on the next our events and see all dear audience. And again, yeah, let me also note that we have an internal event about Kotlin multi-platform soon on this Wednesday at EPAM. And yeah, see you on the next events. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.